Hey there, everybody, and welcome back to Sasquatch Speaks. This is Sasquatch, otherwise known as Gavisas, welcoming you all once again to this dark little corner of the internet, which is oh so affectionately referred to as our own. On today's episode, I'm not gonna try to get political, but I'm going to use politics to prove a point. Here in America, tomorrow is election day. And I don't know if I don't really know or care what you're going to be voting on or voting for or anything like that. I have my picks all thrown in. I'm ready to go. But I don't really care what you all are voting for. Just going to use a topic which isn't even on the ballot tomorrow to prove a point. Specifically, there are people, myself included, who have ideals or thoughts, things that they want to either support or see done or have stopped done or whatever the specific situation is, it's not really that important. Today, the thing I'm going to use is abortion, okay? Here in America, abortion is legal in most places, in most states, in some capacity or another. And the reason for that is because under the legal case of Roe v. Wade, the United States Supreme Court decided that they could not decide, they decided that they couldn't decide, if you can figure that one out, when life began. And as a result, they said, okay, well, if you want abortions to be illegal, then you have to define when life begins, and thus has led on a very long journey. And there have been multiple acts and things that have come over the years trying to define either it begins now or it doesn't begin now. And both sides of the issue are incredibly heated and debated about it, and it's been going on for, I think, about 40 years. I think Roe v. Wade was back in the 70s, maybe the 60s, so it could have been as long as 50 years. So that's not really the point. The point is, let's just do it. Straight up. Simple. Let's not fight about it anymore. Let's just have it out. Here's my suggestion. We write up 2 amendments to the United States Constitution. And we put them both on the same ballot, to be distributed to the entire United States as an amendment to the United States Constitution should be. And on one of them, we will say, life begins at conception, and therefore every child is granted the same right to life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness that any person already out of the womb is. And on the other one, what we'll do is we'll say, life does not begin until whenever people on the other side of the argument say that it should begin. I've heard people say that as much as 18 months after birth should be, technically abortable because there's no personality or blah, 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 blah. It's like, you're a crazy psychopath, but that's my opinion. And I'm allowed to have that because, it's my opinion. And it's protected under the Constitution. That thing I'm saying we should amend. And I say we put them both on the same ballot, have people vote, whichever one gets more votes wins. And that's the end of the argument. No hard feelings either way. Hey, everyone has the ability then to have their voice heard. They can downvote the one they don't like, and they can upvote the one they do. And the crazy people who say, I'm going to vote for both of them, and just mess up the whole system, well, those idiots will be canceled out because they voted for both of them. And this is a majority, this is whichever one gets more, not really necessarily a popular vote. As long as there's 33%, or not 33, but 66%, then it's good, yay! Yeah, it's not really going to work. You kind of just make it a special case here. A little bit of, finagling the votes, but let's just have it out. Straight up, no holds barred. If I win, I'll be very happy, and everyone else on my side will be very happy as well. If not, at least we gave it the best possible try that we could. And the reason I say that, and this is the actual topic for today, the only way that you know you've really given all that you had, the only way that you know that you have put forth your absolute best foot, is when the alternative to your success is absolute failure. That's it. In this case, voting. Okay, let's put it to a vote. The United States of America. Everybody here, vote. Do you want to be killing babies or don't you? Those are your options, yes or no. And if you don't have opinions, stay home. Thank you. Or you don't have to vote on that at all. It's entirely possible to just not mark that part of the ballot, which would then vote no for both of them. But that's another story. This is popular vote. If you have an opinion, share it. If not, don't. And whichever side wins, wins for good. And all, and plenty, and all the marbles, and whatever you want to say there, that's the end. Now, I'm fairly certain, I could be wrong, but I'm fairly certain that nobody in Washington is going to reach across the aisle and say, hey, you there, Mr. Senator, Congressman, whatever you are, with an opposing viewpoint to my own. Rather than try and undercut each other with miscellaneous bills and things which don't actually matter and will just get overturned in the Supreme Court or in 2 or 3 years with amendments and things like that, rather than do that, let's actually do what the Supreme Court says. Let's either make it 100% legal or 100% illegal by defining when life begins by amendment to the United States Constitution. I doubt any congressman is going to do that because they're afraid of losing. That's it. They're just afraid, well, what if I lose? Well, the very simple answer is you've lost. That's the point. There does have to come at some point a decision. Whether you will be willing to risk everything, or if you're just going to remain in mediocrity and debate and bureaucracy if you're in the government. Like I said, that the whole specific debate that I brought up is not the point. The point here is, am I willing to risk it all in order to either gain something or keep something from happening? Now, in terms of the one brought up, I think it would be worth the risk to be able to say once and for all either yes or no. Because ultimately, my decision for me and mine and my family is no. I'm not going to kill children. No matter what level of development they're in, I'm just not going to do that. Put a gun in my hand and send me overseas and say, kill these people, and the ones who are shorter than you, do them too. Well, it's like, I don't think so. I'm not going to do that. And you can say, well, then you're in contempt will be put in jail. Okay, I'm okay with that. I'm not going to compromise my morality for anything. That's just the case. It doesn't affect me to have other people do what's wrong, or at least what I perceive to be wrong. And I think I have a fairly good basis on saying that killing children is a wrong thing. Well, you don't... If you left it alone, it would develop into a child. I'm not saying it'd be perfect. I'm not saying it would be fully formed even. I mean, but at the same time, that's not always the point. That's never the point, in fact. The point is just that life persists. One of my best friends is quadriplegic and was born with cerebral palsy. He didn't become that way. He was born that way. I know I was trying not to get really political about this, but I guess I was trying to stick on the point, and now I'm off point. I guess the point, trying to get back to the point. There are things I'm willing to risk it all for. Not everything, because not everything is that important. But some things are. Some things are so important that you have to be willing to risk losing them. That's really how America got founded anyway. I mean, there was an idea that freedom was important. The ability to rule and govern yourself as you saw fit. Within some boundaries. We're not saying complete anarchy. They weren't either. Otherwise, they would have never written the Constitution. They just said, okay, we're free. Now deal with it. Have fun, and hopefully your neighbor doesn't kill you in the night. That's not what they did. They said, okay, we want some rules, but we don't want oppression. Which is reasonable. It's okay. I agree with that. I like that system. And so they went out and they fought, and they were willing to risk it all. Most of them actually lost it all. Even the people who didn't die in the war for the American Revolution, just so we're making sure we're clear on that. Most of the people who signed the Declaration of Independence, most of them either died in prison camps, in the war, or spent all of their personal fortunes in defense of what they considered a worthy ideal. They didn't just get to that point of being willing to lose it all. They did lose it all. They gave it all up. I think, well, not think, President Abraham Lincoln in his Gettysburg Address referred to it as the last full measure. Being willing to dedicate yourself so wholly to an ideal that you were ready to risk losing. And I think that's perhaps something missing in today's world. Something I see missing in a lot of people around me. Not necessarily I'm not going to pass judgment on people that I know. I mean, it's just not who I am. It's not what I'm supposed to do. Not blah, 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 and all that kind of stuff. But at a general point in society, me too, we have abandoned that idea that some things are worth losing or worth risking loss. Anyway, this was kind of a deeper subject. I'm going to try to stay off politics actually, you know what? It's election week. Why not? Let's do some politics. Get everyone mad at me. Yay! I love it. If you enjoyed this, please leave a like down below. If not, please leave a dislike and a nasty comment telling me to stop being so political. But I'm not going to do that for a couple more days. Yeah, we're going to have some fun with politics. All right, or I'm going to have some fun with politics. The rest of you will listen in agony. Anyway, I will see you all next time. Goodbye.